What's going on, Paisano? Z here. Come at you guys, well, with another marker watch. A banlist marker watch. These are my favorite kind of videos to do because I usually put a lot of work in these videos. I usually really focus on what Konami would or would not do, and I would try to ration out the reasons of why they would make these certain card choices. This banlist is very different, and I think it's different because I'm just fed up with a lot of things in the game as far as the market and the meta, and I think by doing this kind of list, we would see some changes. Now, of course, in this video, I'm going to go over cards that I think might not be hit, and I'm going to go over cards that will get hit, and I'm going to give you guys my personal 100% biased opinion as far as why this will happen. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the ban list. A lot of people are going to be hitting that dislike button. A lot of butt cheeks are going to be hurt. I mean, we're talking red cheeks, tears coming out of everyone's eyes, as they don't want their specific deck to get hit, but hit everything else minus the deck they have. I understand it, I get it, and I'm with you on this one. Look at this. We're number 2 in the top ranking duelist on Konami's website. I think the guy in first place is a Duel Links player, so technically we're the number 1 physical card game Yu-Gi-Oh player. Yes, I understand we're in a pandemic and whatever, but I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. If you guys want to see me play some more Yu-Gi-Oh, go ahead and check me out on twitch.tv, YGOPaisano. Links in the description. Give me a follow and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Listen, I think that this meta is almost open to everyone's interpretation. If you like the meta, if you hate the meta, you're going to have your reasons as to why. Me, personally, and the way I see it, the best meta we've ever had in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been mid-range metas, not combo metas. Don't get me wrong, combos is fun decks to play, even though you do get tired after playing it for the millionth time doing the same exact play. Once you have everything memorized, it's almost robotic, but it is fun. I get that. The thing is, look at 2015 format. Combo, loved format. Look at the Eternal format. I mean mid-range. Look at Eternal format, mid-range, loved format. Gold format, mid-range. 2011 format, mid-range. I mean, you could say the top formats in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the top time we've seen a majority of players is really happy with the game has been in mid-range formats. That's not by accident. That's on purpose. And that's why players like going back and playing those, because they can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! They can breathe their decks. They don't have to do this one card full combo thing and go, yeah, I want to play more of that. Looking at the game as it stands right now, Red Eyes Dragoon is the most, well, degenerate cards we have currently in the meta. One of 2, and this card more than likely will get hit in the ban list. Now, here's the question. Will Dragoon get hit? Will Red Eyes Fusion get hit? Will Predator Inverted Anaconda get hit? Or will there be a mixture in which 1, 2, or 3 of those cards all get hit? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think Konami should directly hit Red Eyes Dragoon. Konami has a history of not directly hitting the problem, but hitting everything else, and then eventually hitting the problem. They've done this so many times, most notably with Instant Fusion, before it got limited. Look at Red Dragoon, this card is so broken. Like, unfairly broken. And to see this card just still be in the meta right now is insane. This card by itself can be brought up by one card, Red Eyes Fusion, and can literally make your opponent go at least -1. It's insanely unfair and broken, and this card will more than likely need to be hit in the ban list. So what would happen if that was to be the case? Well, looking at Red Eyes Dragoon right now, it's roughly around $72, $68 market price. This card would plummet down to the ground. Now you might go, wait a minute, Paisano, they haven't reprinted Dragoon. Konami wants to reprint the juice, and then then they'll hit it. Yeah, sure, right? Yes and no. Don't get me wrong, I do think that Konami reprinting Dragoon will make Konami some more money, but then again, with all the reprints coming out from the past sets that are so amazing, they just might not need to do that. Konami does not need to reprint Dragoon and resell it to us when there's so many other cards coming out. Most notably, multiple reprintings coming out of Forbidden Droplet. So why would you need Dragoon? You don't. You hit this card. This card's insane. This card's not fair, and this card is insanely broken. You might go, well, Paisano, they can hit for Anaconda. There it is right there. And once again, you're right. I think that would definitely slow down Dragoon, but it wouldn't kill Dragoon, and that's the issue. This card has to directly be hit. No question about it at all. Then we have Mystic Mine. Mystic Mine is easily one of the worst printed cards in this game's history. This card has been out for almost about 2 years since its inception at a Dark Neostorm, and it's a broken card. Anyone rationing why this card should be on the not on the ban list should also ration the same reasoning for a chicken game, which currently is on the ban list. That is the issue. Mystic Mind is an unfun, unfair card. It makes it so your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Any card in the game, anytime we had a card or cards that were out there to say you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh!, it inevitably found its way onto the ban list. And look at Mystic Mind right now, with the secret rare being $10 to the super rare being $6 or $7. This will go on the ban list. Sell both of these today, or just watch it go down in value. Let's talk about Dragon Links. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Konami should hit Dragon Links at all. I think what's going to happen, and stay tuned to the end of the video, we'll talk about that. Dragon Links are going to have their own sort of problems, but looking at Striker Dragon, if Konami was to even ban this card, it would drastically change the way we see Dragon Links see play. Will Dragon Links still see play? Of course they would, absolutely. But this card is so broken, so unfair. One card initiates full combo with Dragon Links. That is astonishing. And Striker Dragon arguably is the cause of the issue. It's the fault of the problem. So why are we saying hit LP when Striker Dragon has always been there? Has always been the problem. Hit Striker Dragon, we don't care about LP anymore. We don't care about Pisty. They do nothing when Striker Dragon is hit, especially if this ban goes the way I can see it going. Once again, I think I'm going to emphasize this. We're going to enter even more so into a mid-range format. Last one, we entered in a mid-range format. This one, we're just going to go deeper into it because that's the kind of formats Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are really excited about. The amount of play support and happiness is always for the mid-range format, not the combo, and definitely not the control format. Moving up, we have Tri-Brigade Shurag, the Ominous Omen. Should we hit this card or not? Actually, I don't know. You can hit Shurag, you can hit Tri-Brigade Revolt, and you might go, wait a minute, Paisano. We're going to be getting new Tri-Brigade support this Friday. Yeah, no, we definitely are. But Shurag has been out since, well, Phantom Rage. Same with Revolt. So why are we saying that these are immune to being hit in the ban list? They're very well in the sights of a ban list. Konami has done this with cards in the past. These are no different. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Tri-Brigade's going to be hit at all, to be honest with you, but it's always a good question. And let me know in the comment section down below. Do we see any hits with Tri-Brigade at all, or are they away from the ban list? Then we have Shaddoll Winda. This card's only talked about being hit when you play against Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that are crybabies. If you don't have the skill to play around in Winda, then you're just not that good at the game. Don't get me wrong, you might say, V, you could say the same thing about Dragoon, but could you really say that though? Could you really say that? Are Dragoon and Winda the same card? Anyone saying yes? Congratulations, that person plays Dragon Links. Hi, how's it going there? You heard what I said about your other card? That's gonna get hit, and then you have to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't worry about it. It's Konami. You can go to Konami's website. They have the rules there. You go to your local TS store. You can buy a structure deck. They have the rule book, and you can learn Yu-Gi-Oh! I promise you, Dragon Link players, you can play like the rest of us. Yu-Gi-Oh! You will see turn 2 and 3. Scary note, but you can play through it. And looking at Winda, I don't think this card is that big of a problem, especially since the fact that this card is not that hard to get rid of. And if you have a problem getting rid of Winda, what deck are you playing? There's a lot of ways to get rid of this card. Even more so, once again, when we see more new cards coming out in Lightning Overdrive. This card's not that big of a deal to get through. And let's say somehow Konami did hit Winda. Do you think that's going to stop Dolls? Are you kidding me? Dolls Despia? Invoke / Despia? Dolls Despia Invoked? You're going to beg Konami to put Winda back and hit that stuff. That stuff is way worse than what we have right now with Dolls. Dolls are nowhere near where they are in power level-wise compared to what happens when Despia comes out. Let's just call it even and say that maybe if we do hit Winda, you don't complain about Despia. I'll be okay with that. You know what, players? Everyone watching this video, if you guys start babbling about Winda and Konami hits Winda, we're cool with that. When Despia comes out, I don't want to hear nothing from you. I think that's fair, right? Is that fair? Seems fair to me. Then we have this, Thunder Dragon Colossus. Once again, unlike Red Eyes, Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is currently somehow ungodly banned, even though Red Eyes is at, you can play 3, this card should come off the ban list. And you might go, V, people could run Arch Nemesis in their deck. Yeah, go ahead. Please run Arch Nemesis and come at me with that deck. I'll slap that deck so hard, you'll burn those cards. You'll burn those cards, tears hitting the fire, making those little tsk noise, because that's a dumb idea. You're going to run cards you can't search out to finally get and to try to go into Thunder Dragon Colossus thinking you can get around it? This card's easy to play around this meta. And if you think it's not, really, it's not, it's hard to play around this meta, what deck are you playing? Search the deck? No, this card's insanely easy to get around. It's almost not fair. And once again, for anyone playing Dragons, you kind of want this card. This card's good for Dragons. Dragons actually will see more play with Colossus being at 1. Not needing any of that Arch Nemesis crap. Okay. Then we have Electro Knight. I think Electronic should come on the ban list. I think it should go to 1. I don't care. I think seeing Pendulums come back again with 1 Electronite is a big deal for Pendulum players. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Pendulum fanboy. I don't care about Pendulums whatsoever. I don't have a horse in the race. With that said, Pendulums getting Electronite back off the bans will let new variations of Pendulum cards, maybe even some of the new cards that recently came out, actually see competitive meta play. Why do we want to stop that? Electronite's a great card, and seeing it off the bans will only allow more players to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And be excited about playing a mechanic that's been devastated by Master Rule 5. Oh yeah, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, Master Rule 5 is why we don't see Pendulums anymore. That's literally the reason. Now, with Electronite coming back, we will actually see Pendulums come back into the game. And if you don't like Pendulums coming back into the game, then I guess you don't Links, Fusions, Exceeds. Oh, you do like those? Okay, well, that's the same thing. It's a game mechanic. It's not an archetypal deck. So seeing Electronite coming back to 1, it makes perfect sense. Denglong. Why is this off the bans? It does nothing. Oh, V, wait a minute. You could bring this out and it could see meta play because you could use 9 Pillars of the Yang Zings. Let them. If you're playing that little combo, you're probably already going to lose. Go ahead. I don't care about that. Why is anyone upset about that card? Dino players, I don't think they should hit your Miscellaneousaurus. I think we should hit your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Sorry. I know. Dino players always negotiate, they haggle. Hey, man, just take the bat, hit me in the knee. And I crack you in your head, and you go, why'd you do that? Because you're a Dino player. Now, I'm joking. Listen, I think with Dinos, I think not hitting Miscellaneousaurus, which arguably it could be the problem. It recently came off the ban list. By Konami re-hitting it, it'd be something that they'll acknowledge the fact that that card that they unlocked is a problem, and they have to relock it. Would they do that? No. Konami would hit every single Dinos before they would relock Miscellaneousaurus. Let's not get it twisted at all. With that said, seeing UCT get limited or even banned would drastically change the power creep level in Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have been around for a long while. They've been in the meta deck for a long while. Almost as arguably as long as Dragon Links. Both of these decks should get hit in a weird way. It could be UCT. It could be even Double Evolution Pill. It could be a majority of the cards. And I don't think it's going to kill Dinos. I don't think Dinos will die, by the way, if this goes away. It would drastically change the way we see Dinos. And that would be for the benefit of the players in general. And that's the goal. Not murdering decks, neutering some of these decks. Grassix Greenish, should this come off the ban list? What do you think? No, seriously, I don't know. What do you think? I don't care either way. Once again, no horse in the race. I think if this card came off the bans to 1, it wouldn't do anything. If you're playing Grassix Green in your deck, that's cool. I mean, it's a cool attack. I like the card. It would need a reprint though. Okay. Masterpiece, the true Draco Slaying King coming off the bans would make this card go higher in value, and then quickly deflate. This card's a balloon. Every bans doesn't get off the ban list, it gets a little inflated. Doesn't get off the ban list, gets a little more inflated. More inflated, more inflated. Eventually, Funk gets off the ban list, everyone blows a load, they coom, and the card price goes back down. I think Masterpiece coming off the bans would be really cool for Draco players. I think they will like it. I mean, those 5 kids need to play something, and let them play this. It's a mid-range deck, who cares? And I do think Masterpiece coming off the bans wouldn't be that impactful. Oh, but V, it would be impactful, Paisano. Oh, my butt. Okay, cool. Play Kaijus like a man. Shut up. Like, don't you have, like, talents? Like, there are things you can play. Like, if you're babbling about Masterpiece and not babbling about Red Dragoon, you're just doing it wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. Vanity's Ruler as Cyberdark Impact is a broken card. Don't get me wrong, it's not being used right now, but Drytrons can easily abuse this card. They can search it out, slap it on board, walk over to you, grab your deck, and throw it in the garbage. That's literally what this card can do to you. The Ultimate Rare coming out of Cyberdark Impact with a $53 market price. Let's clean it up a little bit. Hold on. Is roughly around unlimited 45. First editions are $66. I own one of these. These are beautiful. I really like the Ultimate Red. The old Ultimate Reds look so nice, man. Wow. But with that said, no, this card should be banned. Like, what are you, crazy? Of course this card should be banned. This card's insane. And it's searchable. What? Are we even negotiating at this point? No. This card gets banned. Once again, it's not seeing any play right now. And you go, well, V, the new Drytron videos I saw on the internet, they showed me that this card's not being used. All right, cool. Doesn't mean that players aren't teching this card in. This card's definitely a recommendation as at least a tech card, if not maybe a side deck staple. This card will see play, and you will lose to it. And you will go, that's fair, and then look at Winda and go, that's not fair. This card's way worse and searchable. Okay, then we have Zoodiac Broadbull. Now, once again, to anyone who saw Tri-Brigade and got really upset about the Tri-Brigade thing, I think Broadbull should come to 1. I just think it should. I don't think that's a problem with this card coming to 1. Oh, but V, it'll make Tri-Brigades better. They just got support. Who cares? I don't care. Let them come back. Let Broadbull come to 1. It'll actually ignite the fact that we might see more Zoo players. It might ignite the fact that we might see more Tri-Brigade players. If you have a problem with Tri-Brigade Zoo in the new meta, You need to fix your strategy. Look at Ghost Bell. They just smack a rendezvous, and they just look at you, and they go, why would you do that? And then you just laugh at them because you're about to murder them. You're about to commit capital murder. I think that's all there is to do it. Robo coming to 1 definitely, to me, would be, once again, wouldn't make sense. Then we have Trickstar Light Stage. I hate Trickstars. I hate Trickstars so much. Like, I hate Trickstars. Like, I don't know. They're not as bad as, like, Mystic Mind. Like, that's bad. That's like saying, hey, want to see me say Solitaire? Wait here. And then you go, what? And then you go to get up and you realize they tied you down with a Yu-Gi-Oh match. But Trickstars is just, I don't know, this card's goofy. But seeing this card being at 1 makes no sense to me. In a meta in which we see all these kind of back row removal cards, but yet somehow Light Switches hit, that makes 0 sense. Oh, but V, Light Switches are Rhoda. Alright, look at the Trickstar cards. They need that Rhoda. I think looking at Trickstar Light Stage and, you know, this card even coming to semi-limited would make sense. Like, in a meta in which you have Toon Sisters come to Cyclone, Mystical Space Typhoon, Lightning Storm, Hubby Featherster, that's the card you're afraid about locking your back row down? That one card right there makes no sense. Card should go to 2. Look at Sketch Mobilize Engage. Striker players, I'm going to throw you a ball. Catch it. You should get one of these. 100%, no doubt in my mind. This one belongs to you. And we ban Kagari. Problem solved. Oh, you want Kagari and Engage? Wow. Seems like you want 2 broken cards. You get one of the other striker players. I recommend Engage. If you want Kagari, that's fine by you. But I think Engage is better. I think it should be flipped all the way around. I think Engage going to 1 would do nothing for strikers. It would make striker players at best a team 1.5 deck, and let them have it. They deserve it. You know, they've literally been playing forever with what little they have, and seeing that Konami would more than likely ultimately make more support for strikers would only promote the fact that Konami should unlock Engage, but ban Kagari. TJ Hyper Librarian is a card no one's talking about right now, but it's a card that should be banned. This card should absolutely be banned hands down. Why? Because this card can be done so many times. You're telling me your opponent can't recycle cards for synchros in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Maybe not right now, but it's inevitable that that can happen. Will this card get banned? No. Not till it's a problem, says Konami, but it will be a problem. Mark my words. Then we have Vanity's Emptiness. Now, this card currently only has 3 rarity versions, and that's it. The last one coming out, Secret Forces, as a super rare, I believe. I could be wrong. Could be Electric Collection 5Ds. I don't know. My memory's all burnt. Common, super rare, secret rare. Obviously, you grab the secret rare. The issue with this card is the fact that it's a realistically card that can come off the balance. It could actually get reprinted in King's Court. Yeah, no, it can happen. Why not? King's Court features 2 new collector's rares, and Konami loves taking old retro cards. Now, let me just throw something out there for you. King's Court was supposed to come out 6/25, right? You see it right there? 6/25. CS and 25. Okay? You see that? We're clear? Cool. It got pushed back to next month on the 2nd. We are getting our Banlist on the 1st. Now, wait. What if King's Court had a card in it that would not only make it so majority of these cards don't need to be on the ban list, but it will actually quell the bans and promote the mid-range mentality in which Konami's already been promoting. If you don't think Konami's promoting mid-range, you're not looking at the meta. That's literally all they've been doing. Every now and then they'll give something to combo players to cool them off, give them a little pet, but for the most part, everything is for mid-range formats. That's what it is. In case anyone's confused about why I say mid-range so much, let me explain. You have combo, mid-range, and control players. Control players basically do the same exact thing over and over again. They just, you know, they wear helmets so they won't hit their head when they fall on the floor. You know, sometimes they trip because they're control players, you know. Even though Geist is a control deck, Geist King for life. You have combo players, which do everything on the first turn. And hopefully, you die. Well, lose the game in Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't really die. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. They hopefully, you just don't win. That's what they did. They go, bleh. Does it work? No? Okay, cool. Mid-range players kind of are like control players, but they actually have the ability to play cards. I know, shocking. Control players, earmuffs. And the thing about mid-range players is, they can play turn 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, ideally, that's what they want to do to you. Now, can they play as long as control? No, control could easily outgrind a mid-range any day of the week. Can they play as quickly and drop as big of a board as combo? Nope, they're not like that. They're mid-range, perfectly in the middle. Best moments in the game, once again, have been mid-range. Now, think about it. If you're Konami, you're sitting down, you got a cigar in your hand, a cigarette in your other hand, because you've been up all night, just chilling with the fellas, talking Yu-Gi-Oh!, having a good time. Okay, you got suits on, even though it's like 4 in the morning and they're all sweaty. Whatever, Konami. You go, what can I do to promote a mid-range meta? What can I put in King's Court that needs a reprint that will make the meta slower, and even though it has other rarities, it could come out as a collector's rares that will sell. Not only in the main format, but in alternative formats, including 2011 format. What could that be? This is part of a video where I highly recommend you just don't watch, because it's going to get really ugly for a lot of people, unless you don't totally agree with me. If you don't agree with me, then it's going to get really ugly. If you don't understand the fact that this card's coming off the ban. This card's coming off the ban list. The fact that people think it's not happening, don't get me wrong. You go, V, you always say that. Cool. I need to be right one time. You always need to be right. Number one. Number two, this card coming off the bans will not only coincide with the release of King's Court as a collector's rares, but will negate the fact of every other version of Maxx. If Maxx comes out as a collector's rares, the secret rare will actually go down in value. Every other version minus ultimate rare would go down in value. The common Maxx are $10 would be worthless. If you have common Maxx, sell them. Super Maxx, sell them. Gold Maxx, what do you have Gold Maxx? What the hell's the matter with you? Get your act together. Get your life together. Go out, take a shower, wash your clothes, pay some bills, go outside, get some sun. Because evidently, you're a mole rat who thinks gold's good. And if you have an ultra rare and secret Maxx would go down in value. Looking at Ultimate Rare Maxx, it will go up in value. But V, you said every single Maxx will go... Yeah, I know what I said. Ultimate Rares are still insanely hard to get, with only 13 listings currently on TCG Player, and Ultimate Rare Maxx, one copy of this card is roughly around $630. Even though it'll come out as a collector's rares, the collector's rares will not hit that price point. Maybe on pre-order, but after that, everyone goes, wait a minute, no, and the price point sinks back down. Especially since if they make this card, reprint it in King's Court as a common, rare, or even ultra rare, and also give it an alternative collector's rare version of the card. Maxx coming off the bans will literally negate the majority of the cards on this list, except Red Eyes and Mystic Mind. These cards are degenerate. No matter what happens, they should get banned. Anyway, look at the Maxx. This card coming off the bans will not only change the way we play the game, but it will hurt a lot of combo decks. But V, the combo decks will run those cards, and they'll be so good at the game. Okay, here's how you do it. You don't care. You man up, and you drop it back at them. When they Maxx you, you Maxx them back. And you hopefully, you look at them and you go, can you get me? Because if I draw that nib, which is going to be my deck, I can even play one nib, I'm going to get you. And it's going to hurt. And they're going to look at you and go, no, daddy. And you just, yeah, daddy's here. Daddy's drunk and daddy's ready to beat ass. Listen, Maxx come off the ban list is inevitable. It's happening as bans. I'm sick and tired of everyone babbling. And I'll tell you what, I'll give a present for everyone who's still to watch this part of the video. If you are excited about Maxx and you don't have Ultimate Rares, wait for King's Court, by the way, you'll get your copies. You can get Retaliancy. Now, you'll go, wait a minute, V. Why Retaliancy? Because when you play against a Drytron player and activate Drytron Nova, you Retaliancy them. They pass turn or they cry. They do a little bit of both usually, but we're not listening, are we? Because they're playing Drytrons. They deserve that. You spend $400 on new support. Eat this burn. Not including your deck core. Look at Retaliancy. This card's really broken. The Super Rare out of OTS 1 Pack 4 is slowly going away. Current price point has the card being roughly around $5. This has page 1, a bunch of single listings. Page 2, this guy has 69 listings. Giddy. It's roughly around $8. Page 3, it's, what, a 9 and 6. You want to include that as a wall? There's only one wall of Retaliancy. This card's insane. But V, what does this card do? I'm listening and driving to work. Don't worry about it. I got your back, sweetheart. Okay. During an play turn, when your opponent activates a spell card that includes an effect that special summons a monster, like Shaddoll Fusion, Shaddoll Fusion, Drytron Nova, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, while this card sits on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, Yugi. If this card sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Earth Insect type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, except Retaliancy. You add Maxx like a G. You add Maxx. You play against Drytrons, you slap that down, and they go, I got rid of it. You're like, oh yeah, you're a really good player. I'm gonna add Maxx, drop Maxx, continue your turn if you want to, or not, just cry. I'll go and I'll murder you. That's the way to do it. That equals mid-range. And before you go, V, I don't think Maxx will ever come off the bans. It's so degenerate. It was used in every single mid-range format before. It was used back in Debris Plan format. It was used in the Shaddoll Trinity format, Burning Abyss. It was used in those formats. It's not a degenerate card. It's at 3 in the OCG, and it's inevitable that we'll have it at 3 here in the TCG. Once again, Maxx coming out in King's Court. I think when we get that news and announcement, everyone's going to go crazy and sell their Maxx except Ultimate Rare holders. If you have Secret Rare, I recommend you sell yours, unless you want to keep Secret Rare. All respect to you, Secret Rare original print first edition. It's good money, and it will go down subsequently after the release of King's Court, but then start rising with value as people realize the Secret Rare is still going to be worth value, and it will be. I mean, look at other pod cards. The Secret Rare versions are still holding value, despite the fact that they have an Ultimate Rare and a Collector's Rare. Just throwing it out there. Every version Maxx, though, will tank. Listen, I think King's Court's gonna have a Maxx C featured as a collector's rare. So anyone watching this video right now going, damn it, I don't want to spend $600 on a Maxx C. You don't have to. You can buy it as a collector's rare in King Court, but it's gonna be worth money. I know, right? Nothing's for free. Sucks to suck. Listen, this card coming out of King's Court Maxx C will definitely change the way we play Yu-Gi-Oh! In the competitive sense. Along with a Banlist unlocking, in which we'll probably get a Banlist, if I had to guess, about 2 to 3 weeks from now, we are going to see an entirely new different Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. A meta in which decks are meant only for mid-range. And this is going to bring the golden age of Yu-Gi-Oh! To the game right now. And anyone saying no to all that, I got one word for you. Wrong. You're wrong. That's the word. You're wrong. No, I mean, there's not much I can tell you other than the fact that you're wrong. If you haven't figured that part out by this long, then you just don't understand. Maxx is coming with the Banlist. It's gonna change the way. Now, I need someone to translate that in crayon to Dragon players. I need someone to do hand signs for the Dino players, and for Guru players, don't wake them up. Let them go to sleep. Okay? They got the helmet on. They're gonna hit their head and hurt themselves. For everybody else in the meta game that is Yu-Gi-Oh! The Banlist we're going to be getting coming up soon is not going to be a huge Banlist, but a short Banlist. A short Banlist in which corrects the current state of the game, with unlocking Maxx C to making mid-range decks more palpable for every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, to hitting either Dragoon, which could possibly still be hit, also hitting Mystic Mine. And if you once again say Mystic Mine is good, just look at Chicken Game. It's the same card and it's banned. Anyway, Paisanos, like I said, this is my normal Banlist video in which I negotiate, we talk about it, we think of the mentality of Konami. This is a 100% biased video, and I don't care. If people comment and get upset about this video, that's fine. No problem about it. When Maxx C comes off King's Court, though, will you subscribe then? If I'm right, will you subscribe? Can we subscribe that deal? If I'm wrong, you can stay unsubscribed. I think that's a very fair deal. I'm not trying to do whatever. If I'm right, you subscribe. If I'm wrong, you unsubscribe. If you're excited about Maxx C, you subscribe. If you're not excited about Maxx C, that's fine. Just, just know that you should say subscribe still. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. It's your boy V. Hey, real quickly, we're at 16.9 thousand subscribers. Can we get to 17,000 subscribers? Yeah, we could. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button. Everybody, wake up the Guru plays now. Have them subscribe. It's your boy V. You paisanos have a great day.